it's been a fantastic opportunity this past year. Giving half my income, I've raised $53,441.51 for charity, which I think is just one of the best things I've ever done. Maybe one of the best things I'll ever do, but I hope not. And I suppose I was just going to maybe talk a little bit about how I got into it and what I learnt from my year of giving 50% of my income to charity. And so I suppose getting into this idea of giving and giving effectively, I probably started coming across these ideas in undergraduate, and I came across Peter Singer and his work with The Life You Can Save. He talks a lot about the power that we have as people living in developed countries to, help people that are really struggling in other parts of the world that haven't had the opportunities that we have had. And I've always been acutely aware of how lucky I've been to have been born in Australia rather than many other parts of the world. Had I been born in Mali or Madagascar, I would have had maybe, 1/20th or 100th of the expected income that I have in Australia. I mean, that's such a stark kind of discrepancy in opportunities across the world. I think almost anyone that learns about that wants to try and make a change and wants to make a change effectively as well. And so you come across these ideas of effective altruism and how to change the world in effective ways and how to give money through cost-effective interventions. And I became really enchanted with that. I didn't have a lot of ability to actually generate income to give to these charities, although it was part of my motivation for finishing the medical degree and becoming a doctor. Though while I was in medical school, I did find an opportunity in my first year to take part in a clinical trial during which I was actually infected with malaria, also treated at the same time with an experimental medication that was developed in Geneva using Bill Gates's Medicines for Malaria venture money. And it was one of the most interesting experiences I've ever had. I got quite sick with malaria, and I also was cured of malaria within the very same week. And they paid us $2,880 for our troubles, and I immediately gave all of that to the Against Malaria Foundation. It was one of the best experiences I'd ever had, and it kind of, it showed me, it broke down a bit of a barrier, I think, to me in showing me that the giving to charity it wasn't just theoretical. It wasn't something I was thinking about anymore. It was something I was actually doing and able to do, and the world didn't fall apart, and I didn't suffer from it in any way. And in fact, it made me feel really good, and I think it really helped people. And that was probably the beginning of the end. From then, I just decided, well, this is definitely something I have to do more of. How can I do more of this? And it was probably around that time that I decided, well, as soon as I start earning money as a doctor, I'm going to start giving a significant portion of that to charity. I settled on 50%, I suppose, because it's a nice clean number, and it's a number that I calculated I'd be able to live very comfortably on still. And we do earn quite a bit of money as doctors generally, of course, but especially in Australia, I was actually quite shocked that I earned more than $100,000 in my first year working. And I think part of the reason I wanted to do this my first year rather than in a different year later down in the track. And, that's something that a lot of people kind of feel like, oh, maybe I'll do it later, I'll do it when I'm a registrar, I'll do it when I'm a consultant. Well, I think I kind of wanted to do it in my first year, just as a bit of a statement to say, like, look, I'm one of the worst paid doctors in the country, and yet even then, I can give away half of my income and still live actually a really comfy life. I haven't given up any of my favorite things, going to the beach, cups of tea, warm baths, time with my friends and family. It's been a fantastic thing to do, and I think the statement I make in doing it in my first year, I think, has been well worth everything I've done. I've made a lot of noise about it as well, I suppose. I've tried to annoy everyone I know on social media as much as possible, and that was a calculated decision. It is a bit obnoxious, and that's a price I pay, but I think it's really important to vocalize and make really obvious, be loud about our giving and our trying to be good people, because I think a lot of evil and a lot of greed hides in silence, and I think when we speak really clearly and loudly about what we believe is good and what we're doing that's good, I think it really does have this potentially really powerful effect to encourage other people to do the same thing and perhaps snowball more and more good.